It was supposed to be a relaxing spring break trip. But for 22-year-old Ella Carson, it became a waking nightmare. Bound, gagged, left in a windowless cabin miles from help. No one expected her to survive, let alone outwit her captor and ignite one of the largest manhunts in Colorado's history. Ella Carson was a junior at the University of California, San Diego, a psychology major with a bright smile, a quick wit, and a passion for hiking. In March 2025, she flew out to Colorado Springs to visit her childhood best friend, Megan. On the morning of March 15th, the girls drove out to Pike National Forest for a 3-day camping trip. Day 1 was perfect. Day 2 vanished into darkness. We split up for maybe 20 minutes. She said she'd check out the upper trail and I stayed behind to make lunch. She never came back, Megan said. When Ella didn't return, Megan panicked and called search and rescue. That call would spark an 18-hour search, one that came up empty. What no one knew at the time was that Ella wasn't lost. She had been taken. Ella remembered only flashes, a sudden shadow, something heavy slamming into her skull, the sharp sting of zip ties around her wrists. She woke up blindfolded in a van, the smell of gasoline and pine needles in the air. I couldn't see, but I felt every bump in the road. Ella said he played classical music like nothing was wrong. Then, it stopped. Silence. He said, "Don't scream or I'll put you in the ground." She was dragged into what felt like a cabin. He tied her to a radiator, removed her blindfold, and she saw his face. He wore this weird fake mustache and gloves, but I could see his eyes. Cold. Calculated. Like I was a project. Ella continued. For 2 days she endured. He fed her small bites of granola. Never called her by name. Just girl. But Ella was smart. She watched. Listened. Counted his steps. Noticed when he locked the door. She even loosened a bolt from the radiator with a spoon he forgot. And on night 3 she ran. He went outside to smoke. I used the bolt to pop the base loose. I climbed through a cracked window barefoot and bolted into the trees. Ella said. The forest was cold. She had no coat, no shoes. Blood oozed from her wrists. But she ran. For nearly 5 miles she weaved through pine trees, ducked under branches, following the sound of distant traffic. She stumbled upon a back road, just as a logging truck passed. The driver, visibly shaken, pulled over and called 911. There's a girl here. She's barely clothed, bleeding. Says she was kidnapped. Says he's still close. The truck driver yelled. Ella gave a description. White male, mid-40s, buzz cut under a fake wig, military posture, drives an older green Ford van with a cracked windshield and a Colorado wildlife sticker. FBI agents, state troopers and park rangers launched a sweeping manhunt across Pike Forest. Drones scanned the terrain. Locals were warned to stay indoors. Within 24 hours they found the cabin. Inside, restraints, burner phones, surveillance photos, and DNA on a discarded glove. The DNA led to 47-year-old Marcus Heller, a former Army technician dishonorably discharged in 2008 for stalking a female officer. He had no fixed address, no social media, and had been living out of his van under aliases. He was methodical. A ghost. But Ella's memory cracked the case. 3 days later, Marcus was spotted outside a convenience store in Fremont, trying to dye his hair in the bathroom. Police chased him on foot through a drainage ditch before he was finally tossed and cuffed. FBI agent Ramirez said. The trial began in November 2022. Heller pleaded not guilty to kidnapping, unlawful imprisonment, and attempted sexual assault. His defense lawyer Jared Thomas tried to paint Ella as confused, unstable. There are no fingerprints. No semen. No direct evidence. Just the word of a traumatized young woman who admits to suffering from nightmares and dissociation. But District Attorney Kimberly Yates came prepared. We have a victim who escaped her captor, who identified him under oath, who led us to his hideout. And now we have DNA. This is not confusion. This is survival. District Attorney Yates fires back. The courtroom sat silent as Ella took the stand. He took my name, my safety, my peace. But I never gave him my power. The jury deliberated for just 6 hours. Verdict, guilty. Sentenced to 80 years without parole. Ella Carson now travels the country speaking about survival, trauma recovery, and women's self-defense. She never calls herself a victim, only a fighter. He thought I was weak. He thought I wouldn't fight. But I did. And I'll keep fighting, for every girl who didn't make it out. Ella said. Pike National Forest has since increased patrols, installed emergency call boxes, and funded a new survivor support center in Ella's name. This case is more than a story of crime. It's a testament to courage and the unbreakable will to live. Because even in the darkest woods, there's always a way out.